In this video I'm going to be doing a time lapse of the spine drill, but stick through to the end because I will be doing an explanation of the way to drill each vertebrae and also the special treatment of the last bone to be drilled, which is the axis bone. So the tools I'll be using today, because I'm using a 6mm bar because it's quite a hefty beast, so it's 6mm going right through the spine. I've got here a 6mm drill bit in a Makita cordless drill. The 6mm drill bit is sometimes a bit tricky to start, so I've also got a small pilot drill in my Dremel. That's just to make a small hole so that the big drill bit doesn't slip off. So I'll be drilling through the spine. You'll see me, what I've done is drill straight through each vertebrae. So check out the time lapse, stick through to the end because there's a little explanation of why the holes are where they are and how to do it. Right, so the bar that I mentioned earlier when I said I'd cut a bar, it's 6mm steel. There's the offcut. I'll be using this as well to support the head. So what I'm going to do now is explain the treatment of drilling the spine. This is just a spare vertebrae, it's not from this animal. I've already drilled up to the axis bone, sorry. So the reason you'll see me turning it is I drill from one side. So I drill from one side and then I flip it round and I drill from the other side. And you'll see it comes through. The reason that I do it that way is that if you drill from each side you can hit the exact mark that you want, and then the two holes meet in the middle. The axis bone is a different bone entirely, because depending on how you want to treat the skull, some animals have a really heavy skull. So this wildebeest, it's got horns, it's quite a heavy skull. So I will be supporting this on a separate, with a separate bar in effect. So whereas a small animal, you could just drill straight through this and have one single bar coming out that would support the head. So straight through and out the middle. With this one, because I want two bars to support the head, one will be supporting from the spine and one, so basically one will be coming straight through like this and the other one will be going down into the base like this. So what I'm going to do is drill at a slight angle. So instead of going straight through, I'm going to drill on an angle so it comes out just to one side of the centre. Another point to note, I don't know if you can see this, is on the vertebrae, on the back plate, there's a slight dimple, and the animals have this in nature. So, but that dimple, 99% of the time, that is the exact correct middle for the hole. So that is the point that you want to drill when you're drilling in, and you do that on both sides. So I'm going to start drilling now. So that's got me started in the centre. I'm going to aim off just to one side. I'm doing it by eye, and I know from experience, I don't know if you can see that, but it's going just at an angle. And that little crack there was that coming through, which is perfect. So now I've got the bar. When the bar comes through, it's going to come out like that. And when this bone goes on, there's plenty of clearance for that to go into the centre of the skull. Now you see it's off to one side. The reason for that is I'm going to have a second bar. So now I'm going to drill for the second bar. I know when this animal is mounted, the angle will be about there. So the support bar, which will be a steel tube, this sort of size, so that's going to sit on there like that. So what I'm going to do now is mark just with a pencil. I'm going to mark, I want it to come out about there, so there's a pencil mark there, and looking at the angle I want it to come out about there. So it can be in the centre underneath, but obviously it needs to go off on an angle so it doesn't hit the other bar that's coming through from the spine. So with it, when you're drilling onto a ridge, it's helpful just to do a pilot hole. It's with a small drill, and then when you're going in with your big drill, you know you're not going to just slide off. So that's got me started. I can look at my angle now. I'm going to go a little bit steeper. Just double check that. That's going to be fine. And now I can go straight through. Quite tough bone. So there now, I will have a bar coming through from the spine and then a bar coming up from underneath. That is quite tight there. I'm just going to tweak that out just a little bit. So I want the bars to come out sort of more or less touching. So it's just a case of ovaling out the hole very slightly. So now I've got one coming from the spine and then one coming up from underneath. This one will obviously need to be bent, but there's the two bars sitting quite close together. So that's the treatment for the axis bone. Of course, the atlas bone doesn't need to be drilled because both these bars will be coming straight through here and into the skull. So good luck drilling your spines. Hope you found that helpful. And I will be doing an assembly of the spine next, so check out my next videos and keep up to date for the way that I assemble a spine.